Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be taking a little walk down memory lane. We're going to be headed back to the old house to give you some inspirational ideas for your spring decor. Here is a small compilation of some of my previous decorating. I hope you enjoy.
So starting off in my kitchen, I wanted to start off with my shelves. I absolutely love these shelves. They are gorgeous. They are from a tree that was in my family's and my grandparents' house for a really long time that finally died, and we cut it down and everybody in the family got a piece of the tree, not only to remember my grandparents' house, but my grandparents who have since passed. And I love having these here. My husband made them so lovely and beautiful, so I decorate them with the seasons, and I just love doing that. And my inspiration for how I decorated this time around was sort of like spring cottage garden sort of vibes. Pretty much everything on these shelves have been thrifted, or I've gotten them quite a long time ago. And I love all of my pieces that I was able to put together. My picture I thrifted, I feel like just at Christmas time, along with the tureen that I absolutely love. This lantern was a part of my wedding. Like, so many lovely memories all put together. Even the lace on the top I thrifted as well. And I love how you can collect a bunch of different items and mix them together, and they just look so beautiful. The whole thing feels, like I said, very country garden, collected, beautifully displayed together. And then I grabbed these stems from Hobby Lobby, actually not this year, but the year before. I love the lavender stems. I love them year round, but especially in the springtime, something about them, that beautiful purple, just brings so much life to my spirit. So I love the lavender stems, and I mix them with these gorgeous pink cosmos, again, that I grabbed at Hobby Lobby last year. I saw these on my friend Jen from Good Home. I saw them on her channel last year, and I just love how realistic they look. I ran straight to Hobby Lobby and I grabbed them during their 50% off sale, and I just love them. And then I kind of mixed along some of my vintage books that I've collected over the years. Most of them I've grabbed from antique stores. I love antique book shopping. I have so many of these around the house. They're great as risers. They're just great for lovely decor. And then I added my gorgeous vintage ironstone tea collection. I grabbed these actually from my grandmom. She gave them to me. She was not interested in having them anymore. I kind of was like, hey, I really love that teapot that you've had displayed forever. And she's like, do you want the entire set? And I was like, yes, absolutely. So she gave me those, and I love them. I loved pulling them out and displaying them. I had them out last spring. I think they look gorgeous on these shelves. I love the family heirloom feel that the tea set really adds to my shelves. And then I like to throw in not only a few more faux flowers, but also some glass pieces as well. I love glass pieces because they add so much height, and you get a silhouette of an object, but it doesn't make the area looks so weighted down with items. It's just sort of like a small, slight visual for height. And I think that glass can look really beautiful on a shelf display. So I have a couple of pieces in there that, like I said, add that texture without adding so much visual to your eye when you're looking at the entire thing. I love how this piece came together. I love how lovely it is, and it is making me feel so excited for the spring season. And then I just finished it off with this lovely striped tea towel that I grabbed a while ago. I feel like I got it at Home Goods, but I could be totally wrong about that because I honestly do not remember. And then this tea towel, I actually thrifted at a garage sale last fall, and I really loved the colors in this. I feel like I got these as a pack of either 4 or 6 at a yard sale. It cost me $2, which was awesome. They had never been used before, and now I love to use them not only for decor but also for things like using for my sourdough baking. So they have come in clutch. I love things that are multifunctional. I talk about that all the time. And then the bowls and the plates that came with this tea set, I just placed around the bottom tier of my 3-tiered tray, along with this gorgeous wax warmer that I picked up at Walmart a couple of years ago. I felt like the pieces went together so well. And then along with the ceramic of all of the plates and the wax warmer, and I also have a little sugar bowl here, I wanted to add some wood elements as well to kind of balance the color and give you some of that natural feel along with the beautiful porcelain. I love porcelain during the springtime. It just makes me think of tea parties and all of the fun things that come along with spring. So on my second shelf, I added this false-graph little milk pitcher that I grabbed, one of my favorite candles from SYC Candle Co. I will have them linked below if you've never gotten candles from them. They are fantastic. And then this tiny little frame that I grabbed off of Amazon, and a candle with this sweet little bud vase next to it. I just love kind of grabbing those different collected pieces, putting them together on a tiered tray, having things woven together so like the false-graph matches really well with the different dishes and whatnot without being exactly the same. And then I added some nice elements of white mixed together. So we have white flowers, we have a white candlestick, we have white in the tea towel with the stripes on it. And then I finished this space off with my homemade vanilla extract. I did a tutorial for this around Christmas time. I think it was actually after Christmas time, like my very first video back after Christmas, but I showed how I made vanilla extract, and I have been fermenting this now. I guess you call that fermenting. It's been stewing, brewing, whatever you want to call it, for a couple of months now. I can't wait to start using it, but before I start using it, I think it makes a beautiful visual. If you are using a gorgeous jar to make your vanilla extract, then you can use it for decor as well. I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but I love things that are multifunctional. I love when I am able to use something both in my cooking and baking, but also as a decorative piece. It makes me feel like I'm getting the most bang for my buck. So I am absolutely in love with how this entire wall came out. We have our buffet. This is like the far side of my kitchen. If you watch any of my baking videos, you never really see this section of the kitchen because it's always kind of behind me, but I love this space. And I used to have a mug holder in this little corner of the buffet, and honestly wasn't serving me well anymore. It was really trendy and cute like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, but it was just kind of taking up a lot of space, and I wasn't able to really utilize the space for things that I could get more life out of, like this gorgeous basket for all of my cookbooks. So I decided to put that there instead, and I am in love with how this entire space turned out. So flipping around to the main section of my kitchen where I do all of my cooking, I had wiped clean all of the winter decor here and everything looked so stark white and bright. I was like, I love stark white and bright, but it was a little bit too much for my eye, not enough color. So I wanted to add a couple of colorful pieces in, nothing crazy colorful, but like a few neutral colors. And I started by adding this pink and wood cheese board that I've had for quite a long time at this point. I thought it would be super lovely, just kind of a change for where I keep my sugar and flour for my baking needs. And I decided to keep the green lamp that I got at Christmas time on the counter because I love this light. I got so used to just that really nice warm light as I've been baking and cooking in the evening that I just couldn't get over it. I needed to keep it. So I decided to keep that there. And I feel like the pink and the green really play so lovely off of each other for the spring season. And I finished this little vignette off with our pizza peel. We actually use this quite often because we love to make homemade sourdough pizza. This works really well with our pizza stone. So I figured I'd put that behind everything to break up the white a little bit more. And then I added 2 of my Courier and Ives teacups here to match the blue and white tea set across the way and kind of bring the entire look of the kitchen together. And then on my other corner next to my stove, I added just a small tea towel, another candle from SYC Candle Co., and this lovely wicker basket that I picked up from a thrift store yet again for all of my sort of more root vegetable things that I'm not going to keep in the fridge. So this is going to house my potatoes, my onions, my sweet potatoes, my garlic, all of that kind of stuff. I used to keep all of these in a white colander, but I thought that for this season, it would be really nice to move them to this basket. And like I said, kind of break up all of the white that is happening in this corner and add some warmth with the wicker. So I'm really loving how this corner turned out. It's got a great utility to it. It looks lovely, but it also, again, breaks up that white look. And then to finish off my kitchen space, I grabbed some fresh rosemary. This smelled so amazing. I put it in one of my thrifted pots that I had gotten last summer. And then I took another thrifted pot and added some fake rosemary just to kind of add a little bit of green to my already done vignette. And I was finished with this entire space. I thought it came out so cozy, warm, lovely, but very springy, very airy. So I really love how all of this came together. Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Danielle. For those of you who are new around here, I love to talk all about affordable living and intentional homemaking. And today on the channel, we're going to be doing a little homemaking in some spring decorating. Now this is kind of a part 2 to another video I did last week, which was the spring decorating for my kitchen. I love that video. I love how everything came out in my kitchen. It has been so lovely to just get that fresh of breath air throughout my kitchen as I'm baking and getting things ready for my family throughout the week. So I've been loving that. So I will leave a link for that video below. But today we are going to be working on decorating our dining room and a few spaces in the living room as well to just get the house ready for springtime. Now, first of all, I want to apologize for how rough this angle is in my house. I did not realize just how bright those windows are. They get super bright in the middle of the afternoon, so it kind of came off a little crazy during that footage, but I love this highboy. I actually thrifted this from Habitat for Humanity a couple of years ago. I want to say I got it for $60. It was so affordable. I didn't do anything to the wash. It came just as is, and I love it. I placed it into our dining room, and it is the perfect location to house things like dishes that we don't use all of the time, tablecloths, placemats, all of that kind of stuff. So I really love it, and I just enjoyed kind of adding this tray to the top of it with some fresh florals as well as a little bit of faux, some terracotta. I love terracotta in the spring and summer. I could put terracotta pots all over our house. You can kind of see in the background of this footage that I have a ton of terracotta with real plants throughout the house. We love a lot of fresh live plants in in our house. So yes, I do have some faux, but a lot of my decorating is done with real plants. And we have our little plant family that I love so much. So I really enjoy how this entire highboy came out. And then I swung over to my buffet and added all of the books that I am currently kind of reading through at the moment. Some of these I actually just finished, so I'm going to be transitioning them over already. But I like to have books that are a little bit themed to the season that I'm in, but also books that I am just really enjoying getting a lot of knowledge education out of. So that is there. And on the other side, I have a little treat jar within this cake plate. I've already taken the little white jar out of it and added things like fresh baked cookies and lovely muffins and different things like that. I really enjoy having fresh baked goodies in there. So I've been loving having this cake dish on my buffet for treats for my family, and I just finished it off with some faux florals and a few candles. This buffet is so lovely. I've talked about it on my channel before, but I got it for free and I absolutely love it. So many fun thrifted pieces. Most of the decor that I have in my home has been thrifted. I talked about that in my video last week, but I really enjoy trying to head to the thrift store and finding pieces that look lovely in my home but cost me so little. I am so sick of going to these big box stores and spending $50 on pieces that honestly don't even last that long or are super trendy and kind of switch with the seasons. So then I just spent $50 on something that like isn't trendy anymore. So I really enjoy getting to the thrift store and finding some lovely things. On my dining room table, I got this beautiful tablecloth from a garden shop that I love. It did cost me a pretty penny, but I love it. It's one of my most favorite tablecloths that I own. And then this wicker basket I actually thrifted last fall. I love it. It's beautiful. I've placed it all over my house and it just has such a fun, like rattan, gorgeous look. And I filled it with some real flowers that my son actually picked out for me at the grocery store the other week in this gorgeous pitcher that my mother bought me for my birthday. She got it from an antique shop and I just think it is so lovely. It says, "The Lord himself goes before you." It is such a beautiful piece. And I threw some books in here as well as a plant my husband picked up the other week in this thrifted crock that I've had sitting around, and I wanted to put something lovely in it. So when he picked up this plant, I knew exactly where I wanted to place it. And I really love how my entire dining room table came together. It's really simple, it's very fresh and springy, and it's really easy to kind of move this little basket in the center of my table if we're having like a dinner that has a bunch of different pieces to it, or I have people over. It's just something really simple and easy to move. So the following day, I kind of looked around and realized that I wanted a little bit more with the candles, like a riser almost underneath. And I totally forgot that I had thrifted this gorgeous plate just, I want to say like 2 or 3 months ago. And I had gotten it for the spring season. I totally forgot to pull it out. So I was like, I can pull this out and throw the candles on there. And it kind of adds a little bit of drama to this space. And I love how this now all plays well off of each other. And then there is this beautiful picture that I had on my wall. I put up at Christmas time, and honestly, I was going to keep it up throughout the spring season as well. But then I went back and decided that I actually wanted to have something that had more of a botanical look, felt more springy. This picture that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby with the biblical verse on it was lovely, but just super dark. I wanted something that had some more lightness to it. So I pulled out this botanical print that I also thrifted a while ago, and I just love how it fills in this space nicely and again adds that spring air. It's really funny because on this print, it actually says October on it, and I have a matching one that says September upstairs. Apparently this is a very famous print that a lot of people have or have had in their home. So So I love it up there. Even though it says October, I think it works great in the springtime. So I'm going to be moving into my living room, and I had these shelves that I put up several years ago, and I decorated them, and I never really put anything different on them. I mean, sometimes at Christmas I might put like a little Christmas decoration here or there, but for the most part I've had the same thing on them since I put them up probably about 4 or 5 years ago now. So I was excited to take everything down and really try to get a new, fresh look on these shelves. I thrifted these 2 pictures over the summertime. I had them in our bedroom, but I didn't have them in a very prominent spot, so I thought that they would be the perfect addition to the shelf here, along with this gorgeous pottery milk pitcher. I put that there along with the 2 candles that I have that usually kind of float around from space to space as I decorate, and I really love how that came together. And then I moved onto the top shelf. I got this gorgeous sort of metal bracket a long time ago, actually. I want to say that I got this one like 6 or 7 years ago when we were down in Delaware shopping, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. So I added it to my top shelf along with these books that I did a DIY with several years ago. I actually did it for a friend's bridal shower, and I ended up keeping it afterwards. I really love how I can use them as different areas of decor. And then I placed this houseplant on top of it in this gorgeous terracotta pitcher that my mom did a mosaic on last year for me. I absolutely love this gorgeous planter. It is beautiful. It is stunning. I then placed 2 of my favorite classic books on the shelf. They are from Amazon. I will link them in the description below. One of them is Emma, which is one of my favorite things to read in the springtime. And then the other one is Little Women. But these particular books had the most beautiful, just embossed floral pattern on them. I thought would look so lovely with spring. And then I finished this entire space out with my white watering can. I'm not really sure if I love it here, if I'm being totally honest. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is a great design. And then sometimes I'm like, meh, I mean, it goes. I'm not sure if it was my favorite thing, but I'm liking it for now, and it works for now. So that is what we are going with. And then the last space that I wanted to decorate is this radiator. Right when you walk into our home, we have this radiator to the side of our entry. I have radiators all over my house. I've talked about this before, but my house was built in 1913, so it is over 110 years old. So we have radiator heating all throughout the house, which is interesting because it gives me a space to decorate on top of, but also it does not leave me a lot of space to put furniture on. So I do like to decorate on top of the radiators. A lot of the radiators have a bunch of different fun things on them, but I like to change up the one that is right by our entryway with the seasons. It just helps to really add a nice welcome to our house. So I did so with one of my favorite gathering baskets that I thrifted last summer. It is absolutely beautiful. I've used it through many seasons of my decor now. And I threw some of my favorite faux florals in there. Once I get hydrangeas that are actually blooming, I like to pull them out and stick them into this basket. But until my hydrangea bushes actually bloom, the faux florals will be beautiful. I then added 2 of my favorite thrifted books with some candles and this gorgeous scale that one of my friends actually gave me. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching this video. I love decorating. I love home decor. If that's stuff that you enjoy as well, definitely subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Have an amazing week, my friends. Bye.